Hi folks, I'm Spencer and this is Cult Mania, and today we are reviewing the new Gamera box set from Arrow. This thing's really heavy. Gamera was Japanese film company Daiei's answer to Toho's Godzilla franchise and the growing popularity of the kaiju genre. It centres around Gamera, a giant fanged fire-breathing turtle from Atlantis that can fly by shooting jets out of its shell. Because reasons. The box set contains all 12 Gamera films, the first of which came out in 1965, over a decade after the first Godzilla had arrived. The first film, Gamera The Giant Monster, was a very low-budget affair and was one of, if not the last kaiju movie to be shot in black and white. The plot is basically a mismatch of everything that Godzilla had been up to up until this point. Gets woken up by a nuke, wrecks some stuff. In this, becomes the obsession of a child. And then some scientists try and figure out what they're going to do to stop Gamera destroying literally everything. Everything about the plot is pretty obvious, and nothing's really going to take you by surprise on that front. But what did take me by surprise was just how much monster action there actually is. Gamera turns up within the first 5 minutes and starts destroying stuff straight away. The Gamera suit actually looks pretty good. At least as good as a giant fanged turtle can look. I mean, when he breathes fire, they actually put a flamethrower in the mouth of the suit, which looks pretty awesome, to be honest. A lot of this is helped by being shot in black and white, because you sort of forgive the rudimentary styling of it because you associate it with the time it's come from. The human characters are all pretty forgettable in the way that they are in nearly every kaiju movie. I mean, I cannot remember anything about any of them, except for the kid that I mentioned earlier. I didn't think he was going to be that annoying to start with. Oh, he's cute. Then, he constantly just endangers himself and everyone around him, just so that he can be that little bit closer to the monster. This was around the time that the Godzilla series had started to pivot into a more child-friendly style. I mean, 1965 is when Invasion of the Astro Monsters comes out and you get Godzilla doing a stupid victory dance on the moon. Gamera would follow this child-friendly narrative to the point where, by later films, Gamera was known as the friend of all children. The initial series would continue up until 71, but Daiei was struggling to fund each subsequent film and it was starting to show on camera. The fact that the kaiju market had become so oversaturated wasn't helping, and eventually Daiei went bankrupt and Gamera would just disappear. There was an attempt to reboot the series in 1980, but it was a complete rushed job in which all of the monster footage was just the footage from the old films, and that was a trick that even Godzilla couldn't get away with. Then, in 1995, Gamera would rise again in Gamera Guardian of the Universe. This time, with backing from the House of Godzilla Toho, Gamera would come back bigger and better looking than ever. Releasing the same year as Godzilla's Heisei era ended with Godzilla vs. Destroyer, Guardian of the Universe benefits from the fact that Toho have already learnt so many lessons over making a decade of Godzilla films. The plot kicks off with Gamera and Gaius, a fan favourite monster from the original Gamera series, being discovered by humans, and then the humans go, we need to do something about this. That being said, Gamera is an obvious good guy from the start here. without feeling too goofy or over-friendly. That's the main positive about this Gamera reboot. Everything feels like it's still connected to that old series, but it feels fresh and updated and suitable for a 90s audience. Even the child obsessed with Gamera plotline is given a nice refreshing update here. Gamera and this teenage girl become connected when this girl wears this necklace, and it connects them both psychically and physically, so she can sort of see through Gamera's eyes and know what he's thinking, but if he takes a pasting in a fight, so does she, and that adds a nice bit of tension to the human storyline, where normally you'd just be like, I don't care about these people, let's have some fighting. And the monsters and the fighting are really the reason to watch any of these films. Apart from a couple of ropey blue screen effects, the monster suits and the miniatures are really top notch here. And I know this might sound really weird, but I love the way they light the monsters in this film. They throw a lot of colour at them, but they manage to look really epic rather than really cartoony. And it's something that the Godzilla franchise at the time was doing really well as well. Speaking of things that are epic, this film has a lot of monster action, but easily the best part of that is the huge explosive fight at the end. Little side note, this film has a lot of explosions. And the best thing about this final fight is that it takes place in the middle of the day, in sunshine. You can see the monsters, you can see them fighting. And this is something that even 2019's Godzilla King of the Monsters didn't manage to get right. The film was a financial success and would go on to be the start of a brand new Heisei trilogy for Gamera, with each film getting better and better critical reception. Unfortunately, after the end of the trilogy, Gamera wouldn't be seen again until 2006 in a more family-friendly reboot. Now, onto the box set itself. The box set comes in 3 different little sections. So, first of all, we've got all 12 films housed in one nice packaging. They're on less than 12 discs, that's nice. They each come with their own little piece of artwork to go along with each. You also get a collection of postcards for each film. Next we have Gamera the comic collection. 5 comics in here, 1 brand new one that's never been published before, and then 4 Dark Horse comics from the time that Guardian of the Universe was coming out. They pretty much retell the plot of that, as far as I can tell, at least vaguely. And then finally we have this book that doesn't have a title, so I will call it the box set book. This has a brief history of the Gamera series, that's where I've got a lot of the info for this review from. It also has interviews with the directors for the series. It has these cool anatomical drawings for each monster. It's got some more essays about the Heisei trilogy, and it's just a really cool bit of info. Overall, I think the box it's a really, really nice collector's item. I think actually, in terms of quality, I like it a little bit more than the Godzilla box set that came out from Criterion last year. I just think there's a little bit more going on. And also I like that it's 12 inches tall, so it actually fits on a shelf. So that's my review for the new Gamera box set. I think it's really interesting. I can't wait to watch more of the films in here. Let me know, have you bought it? Is it now something you're thinking about buying? Like and subscribe so you don't miss any more videos, and then I'll see you next time.